Arabic is such a fun language to learn, I'll be honest. It's a challenge, of course, but I think that's why I like it. I started studying in university, right? And in most universities, I'll say, at least in the US, you study Fusha, or classical Arabic, or what they call MSA, Modern Standard Arabic. Now, this is the Arabic that's used on like news channels and formal interviews and government things, like anything that's very official. I equate it to Shakespearean English, right? Like, we don't talk like that anymore. I mean, even Shakespearean English, we don't, at least Fusha they use in the news. We don't use Shakespeare in our everyday life, but it is very formal. And it is what people also learn in school. Like, it's very much the base for any sort of grammar or anything. It's an amazing base. If you learn Fusha first, like I did, then changing to different dialects actually ends up being a lot easier because you understand the grammar and you understand the structure and you understand the root words of a lot of things and like what parts of the words are changing or what words specifically are changing for a dialect, right? So, and I learned reading and writing all together, right? That was the point. Now, once I started actually traveling to these Middle Eastern countries, I went to Jordan first, and it was wild because, first of all, so many people in Amman speak English. So, and it's, at least at the time that I was going, was already a fairly tourist-friendly area, and there's a lot of people that go to Jordan to study Arabic. So, like, I would go and I would ask for directions or something, and they'd respond in English. Being like, where are you trying to go? Let me help you. Like, you're clearly lost. So Jordan was a very good, like, base, first, like, true country for me to go to on my own. I started out on a university program, but then I stayed the summer to do a volunteer situation for a couple months, and was really easy to like navigate around with English, with Arabic, whatnot. The people were very nice. I think, as with any place where people are trying to learn the language, like, it also depends on like who you run into and how their day is going, how they want to respond. So like taxi drivers would always be super friendly and excited to like speak Arabic and think it was hilarious to have foreigners coming to learn Arabic in their country. Some people on the street, not always as excited, which is fair. Not rude. No one was ever rude to me. One of the things that I always think about when people tell me they are wanting to learn Arabic is why? Like, what's the purpose? I feel like once you understand why you actually want to learn Arabic, that can give you a direction as to how you want to learn it, right? Because if I had understood that the dialects really can be so different, I maybe would have learned a different way. Or if I was coming into Arabic at this stage of my life, and knew what dialect I wanted to focus on. Say I'm living in Saudi, I want to learn the Saudi dialect of the region that I'm in, great. Or I've married this wonderful Egyptian man, I want to learn Egyptian Arabic, specifically the Alexandrian slang of it. You know, I want to be able to speak with the family, things like that. It changes, even in those two scenarios, right? Alexandrian Egyptian versus the Hijazi Saudi. And if I'm just speaking with the family or just speaking around town, like, I don't necessarily need to learn to read and write. If that's not important to you, you can get around without learning the alphabet or learning how to read if you don't want to, right? What is interesting, I do remember once I learned the alphabet, then it was so much easier for me to read things in Arabic versus transliterated English, which is when they use the English letters to write the Arabic words, or sometimes they put numbers in things. Like it just, things make more sense. You know exactly what letter they're trying to say, because there's some letters we don't have in English that they have in Arabic. So, first things first, figure out what's the purpose of why you want to learn Arabic. And I've got shadows on my face. We're just in it to win it, right? Second, then once you've figured out what's the purpose, then that can help you decide, okay, do I need a language partner? Because I want to start speaking right away. So I need someone that I can sit down and we can practice like just the few basic words at the grocery store. How much does this cost? Like, hello, how are you? These are the directions if I'm getting in a taxi. Things like that. Almost like survival Arabic, right? Which I'm thinking about working on a survival Arabic guide. I know there's other ones out there. I think with Arabic, I'll also say that Arabs are super, super nice. They get that their language is difficult, for sure. MashaAllah, you're learning Arabic, it's so good. You know, even if you say hello or thank you, people are really nice. So I wouldn't which this is hard for me, do as I say, not as I do, to just practice speaking as much as possible. People, like, they'll help you with pronunciation if you need it, but honestly, they're just so excited that you're learning that, like, if you stumble over things, it's fine. And that's honestly part of the process, whether you're learning English or Spanish or anything. Like, you're gonna make mistakes and it's gonna be okay. I think for me, it wasn't until I was on an intensive language program in Morocco where we literally had a language pledge, like, you have to speak in Arabic or you're gonna get kicked out of the program, that I was like, okay, I can't be perfect, you know, it's not gonna come out perfect, but I do have to say something in the day. I do have to contribute to class. I do have ideas, like, okay. Because I do feel like there are different types of learners. And honestly, I saw this when I was working at a Montessori kindergarten in Egypt. English, Arabic, German speaking, very cool. But we'd have students that would come and just fumble words all over the place. They were just so excited to talk, to make new friends. I had one French student, so French isn't one of the languages any of the kids speak, and one teacher spoke French, but it was more like, if you're really lost, we'll help you. But he was so excited to make friends. He learned English in like weeks. It was amazing. And even some German and things, because he was interested in things that the German teachers were around. But I had another student who is from Sweden, and so she spoke Swedish at home, Swedish, German, and so she had mostly German friends. Her parents really wanted her to learn English, so she was in like the English language circle in the afternoon, and this girl did not say a peep, not a single thing ever. She would just look at you with her big blue eyes, cute little face, and just mute. And then one day, bam! Beautiful English sentences, like full sentences, perfect. And I was like, oh, I'm you, you're me. This is how I learn too. Like, I wait until I've absorbed everything so I know I'm right, and then would be okay to like actually speak. So, don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're gonna. Nancy, man.